Hey there, friend. I want to ask you something. Have you ever felt like your energy is fading faster than it used to? Like you're doing everything right with your diet and lifestyle, but still feel tired, stiff, or just older than you'd like to be? Well, I've got something important to share with you today. There are some foods many seniors eat thinking they're doing their body good, but they might actually be working against you, quietly speeding up the aging process. And the good news, once you know what they are, you can start making small changes that lead to big results. Let me tell you a quick story. My neighbor Martha, who's 74, came over one day looking frustrated. She'd been eating salads, drinking green smoothies, and even added flaxseed to her oatmeal every morning. But she told me she was still gaining weight, her joints ached, and she felt sluggish by lunchtime. "I thought I was doing everything right," she said. After digging into her diet, we found two culprits hiding in plain sight. Foods she thought were healthy, but were actually triggering inflammation and metabolic stress. Once she swapped them out, she felt lighter, more energetic, and even noticed her skin looked clearer. "I didn't realize how much my food was working against me," she told me. And that's exactly what this video is about. We'll go over 3 foods that many seniors unknowingly eat. Foods that may seem nutritious, but can accelerate aging, especially after 70. More importantly, I'll show you what to do instead, so you can protect your energy, joints, and overall vitality. Let's dive in. The first food, and this one might surprise you, is processed vegetable oils, like corn, soybean, and sunflower oil. Yes, these are often labeled as heart-healthy alternatives to butter or coconut oil, but here's the truth. They're loaded with omega-6 fatty acids, which can fuel inflammation when consumed in excess. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but my doctor told me to switch to vegetable oil. And yes, for years we were told these oils were better than saturated fats, but recent research shows that chronic inflammation from omega-6 overload can damage cells, speed up joint pain, and even harm your skin and brain health. One woman I spoke to, Ruth, used to cook with corn oil daily. She didn't think twice about it until her doctor mentioned her elevated inflammatory markers during a checkup. After switching to olive oil and avocado oil, she noticed her morning stiffness eased and her energy improved. "I didn't realize how much my food was working against me," she told me. So what can you do? Start by reading labels. Avoid anything that says vegetable oil or partially hydrogenated oil. These are red flags for pro-inflammatory fats. Instead, reach for extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, or even a small amount of coconut oil, all of which support your body without feeding inflammation. And here's a tip. If you're using these oils for high heat cooking, opt for avocado oil, which has a higher smoke point and won't break down into harmful compounds. For low heat or no heat dishes, olive oil is a great choice. Now, moving on to the second food. And this one might sound harmless, but can do real damage. Commercial fruit juices. Yes, orange juice, apple juice, and even antioxidant blends from the store can be sneaky troublemakers. I know, you've been told fruit juice is full of vitamins and antioxidants, but here's the catch. Most commercial juices are stripped of fiber and loaded with concentrated sugars, sometimes even more than soda. Let me share a quick example. A man named George used to drink a glass of 100% pure orange juice every morning, thinking it was a healthy start to his day. But over time, he started gaining belly fat, feeling bloated, and even struggling with memory fog. When he cut back on the juice and switched to whole fruits like berries and apples, he said the difference was noticeable within weeks. "He didn't realize how much sugar in liquid form could hit me that hard," he told me. So why is fruit juice a problem after 70? Because as we age, our metabolism slows down. That means we process sugar less efficiently. When you drink a glass of juice, you're flooding your body with fructose without the fiber to slow its absorption. This can spike insulin levels, promote fat storage, and even speed up cellular aging. The solution? Stick to whole fruits. Berries, apples, and pears all contain fiber that slows sugar absorption and keeps your metabolism steady. If you love the taste of juice, try blending your own at home with whole fruits and a handful of leafy greens. Or better yet, sip on herbal teas like green tea or rooibos, which offer antioxidants without the sugar rush. Now, before we continue, let me quickly recap what we've covered so far. We started by talking about processed vegetable oils, explaining why they're not as healthy as they seem and how they feed inflammation. Then we looked at commercial fruit juices, showing how their high sugar content can age your body faster than you think. Each of these foods is commonly labeled healthy, but for seniors, they can be hidden sources of aging accelerators. In the next part, we'll dive into the third and final food to avoid, and this one might surprise you. We'll also wrap up with practical swaps and a summary of how these small changes can add up to big results. Because the goal isn't to deprive you, it's to empower you with the knowledge to make choices that truly nourish your body and slow down the aging process. So stick with me, we've got more to cover. All right, friend. In the last part, we talked about two foods many seniors unknowingly eat: processed vegetable oils and commercial fruit juices, and how they can accelerate aging by fueling inflammation and spiking blood sugar. And I hope you're starting to see how small changes in what you eat can make a big difference in how you feel. Now, let's move on to the third and final food, and this one might surprise you. It's high-sodium diet frozen meals. Yes, those pre-packaged dinners labeled healthy, low-calorie, or senior-friendly often contain hidden dangers. Many are loaded with sodium, artificial preservatives, and fillers that do more harm than good. Let me tell you about a man named Frank I met at a senior center. He used to rely on frozen meals because they were convenient. He thought they were better than fast food, he said. But over time, he noticed his hands swelled, his energy dipped, and his doctor warned him about early signs of kidney strain. After swapping out the frozen meals for homemade soups and stir-fries, he felt lighter and more energized. He told me, "I didn't realize convenience was costing me my health." So why are these meals problematic? Excess sodium dehydrates your cells, strains your kidneys, and can lead to fluid retention, which makes you feel heavier and older than you are. Plus, the preservatives in many packaged foods can trigger low-grade inflammation, accelerating cellular aging. The solution? Cook simple whole food meals at home. Even if you're short on time, try batch cooking soups, stews, or roasted vegetables and freezing portions for later. Or explore lower sodium alternatives like homemade casseroles, grain bowls, or stir-fries with fresh ingredients. And here's a bonus tip. Flavor your meals with herbs and spices instead of salt. Rosemary, turmeric, and garlic not only reduce sodium intake, but also add anti-inflammatory benefits. Now, before we wrap up, let me quickly recap everything we've covered. We started by looking at processed vegetable oils, explaining how their omega-6 fats feed inflammation. Then we discussed commercial fruit juices, showing how their concentrated sugars spike insulin and age your body faster. Finally, we touched on high-sodium frozen meals, revealing how hidden sodium and preservatives harm your kidneys and energy levels. Each of these foods is marketed as healthy or convenient, but for seniors, they can silently speed up aging. In the next and final part, we'll cover practical swaps to replace these foods and reinforce how these changes can protect your health long-term. Because the goal isn't just to avoid harmful foods, it's to nourish your body in ways that keep you strong, vibrant, and independent. So stick with me, we're almost there. All right, friend. We've already covered 3 powerful foods that many seniors eat thinking they're healthy, but that could actually be working against them as they age. And I hope you're starting to see how even small dietary changes can make a big difference in how your body feels and functions. Let's quickly recap everything we've discussed so far. We started with processed vegetable oils like corn, soybean, and sunflower oil, and how their high omega-6 content fuels inflammation, speeds up joint pain, and harms your skin and brain health. Then we looked at commercial fruit juices, explaining how their concentrated sugars spike insulin, promote fat storage, and accelerate cellular aging. And finally, we explored high-sodium frozen meals, revealing how hidden salt and preservatives strain kidneys, cause fluid retention, and sap energy. Each of these foods is commonly labeled healthy or convenient, but for seniors, they can silently speed up aging and reduce vitality. Now, let's talk about what you can do instead. Because the goal isn't just to avoid harmful foods, it's to replace them with choices that nourish your body and support long-term health. Let's start with oils. Swap processed vegetable oils for anti-inflammatory alternatives like extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, or even a small amount of coconut oil. These fats support heart health, reduce inflammation, and help your body absorb nutrients more effectively. Then for juices, replace them with whole fruits like berries, apples, or pears. If you still enjoy a morning drink, try blending your own smoothies with fresh fruit, leafy greens, and unsweetened almond milk. Or sip on herbal teas like green tea, ginger tea, or rooibos, rich in antioxidants without the sugar rush. And for frozen meals, look for lower sodium options, or better yet, cook your own. Batch cook soups, stews, or roasted vegetables and freeze portions for convenience. Try simple meals like baked sweet potatoes with black beans, quinoa bowls with roasted veggies, or homemade stir-fries with lean protein. And season with herbs like rosemary, turmeric, and garlic. They add flavor and health benefits. Now, let me share a quick story to reinforce this. One woman I spoke to, Ruth, used to rely on pre-packaged meals and store-bought juices. Over time, she felt sluggish and noticed her joints aching more often. After making the swaps we've talked about, switching oils, eating whole fruits, and cooking her own meals, she said she felt like she'd turned back the clock. "I didn't realize how much my food was working against me," she told me. "Now I feel lighter, stronger, and more like myself again." That's exactly what this is all about. It's not about perfection. It's about making choices that support your body, not harm it. If you're feeling overwhelmed by all this, don't worry. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Start with one change. Maybe swap your cooking oil this week, or trade one glass of juice for a handful of berries. Small steps add up over time. And here's the best part. When you eat with intention, your body responds. You might notice more energy, less stiffness, or even improvements in your skin and mood. That's the power of nourishing your body with what truly supports it. If you found this hopeful, and I hope you did, I'd love for you to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another tip to help you live your best life after 70. And if you've already made changes to your diet and noticed a difference in how you feel, I'd love to hear about it. Drop a comment below and share your experience. Your story might inspire someone else to take that first step toward better health. Because the truth is, aging doesn't have to mean decline. With the right choices, you can protect your energy, mobility, and independence for years to come. Thank you so much for being here today. Take care of yourself, stay curious, and keep making choices that honor your body and your happiness. Until next time, stay strong, stay vibrant, and live your best life.